Hey everyone, once again, we're starting again. Um, one sec, guys. One sec. I'm admitting. I'm letting people join us. So okay. So yeah. I stopped at language part. So not being in an English speaking country, you don't really know what is it like to speak and to talk to them. Like, yeah, sure, like we listen to podcasts, we see YouTube videos, like we might even talk to a foreigner, but they never actually talk the way that they do at in their house, like in their home country. That's why it takes time to get used to the language, but it's quite fast, like compared to culture shock and all other things. Um, and the education system is was quite challenging in the beginning because the U.S. uses imperial units of measurements like inches, barrels, pounds, or this Fahrenheit. I hate Fahrenheit. Um, just I don't know, they say like, what's the weather today, what's the temperature today, they it's like 80. What, 80? How it's like 80? Like 50? How can it be 50? And you ask, it's Fahrenheit. Oh, I see. And all the time I see the weather in Google. I had to convert it to Celsius because I just didn't have any clue about what they're talking about. Also, bubble sheets. Like, I decided to include this here because it was something different completely. Like, we used to have exams, um, and a professor told me, bring bubble sheets. Like, I just wrote it down, bubble sheets. I'll go to this stationery shop and I'll just buy it. And I see it's those small bubbles like we use when entering universities here. But again, we don't use them uh, all the time. Like, we use them only once, like when we entered the university. But in their case, it turned out that they use it, from the school time. Like, every exam, every midterm exam, final exam, doesn't matter. They use bubble sheets. Um, and I was just, shocked, like how fast they filled out those bubbles. Like, it was something out of this world, really. Uh, and it used to take me like much more time to, color those small bubbles, something different. And of course, like, lots of self-study. Basically, people know about it. Studies are um, uh, most of the time is self-study in the US. There are lectures, like very few lectures actually. uh, a 3 credit course can be like, I don't know, 2-3 lectures per week, which lasts for less than an hour each. Uh, and the whole other time have to study on yourself. Okay, let's go to the second. Yeah, okay. This is basically the place that I enjoyed going to, especially in the beginning, because I was going through a culture shock. It's a gym. It's called Half Acre Facility. The gym is great. Like, it has all the things you need, to shape yourself, pull everything. And I just love going there, just to, release the stress. Um, yeah, so this is Half Acre Gym. By the way, it's called Half Acre because its area is specifically a half acre. So that's why they called it Half Acre. This is our library in Wyoming. Big, really cool, big, really good library. In the US are great. Like, they're enormous. They have all the resources. Like, they can have books, computers, all the materials you need to do your homework. These are my buildings. I'm in petroleum engineering, so this is my faculty on the left, petroleum and aeronautics. I would go there basically every day. And these two buildings are two engineering buildings. The campus is big, you know, the campus in the US is big, and the campus is actually something that makes it different in the US. Like education is different with campuses in the US. And yeah, we're slowly going to education system. How is it different? How is it unique? So just like I told now, like campus-based studies. So you have basically everything on campus. You have banks, you have shops, you have dorms, you have study buildings. You don't even have to go out. Like campus is like a small student city where you can live, study, do anything you want. The studies are really expensive in the US. Just to compare, like my studies for one semester costed the sponsors for like $9,000 in my case. And this actually was the cheapest option among all other participants, because I made some research. I asked other participants, and it was like much more expensive in their case. So, but this sum like includes tuition, like in my case again, like tuition, like eating, accommodation, and everything besides, I mean, and everything else. The course load is up to students. So if you say want to take like 3 courses, you can take 3 courses. It doesn't matter how many courses you take, but they should be like they should be in the, like, for example, taking an engineering class, but you don't have any required class before that, so you take some like required class first, then you take other classes. Of course, like it's not like you can take any class. Like there are core studies which you have to take. So in my case, for example, in petroleum engineering, I had to take 2 classes in petroleum engineering, and one class was like the third class was elective, and the fourth class was about US studies. So for the elective class, you can take like basically anything. It can be dancing, it can be singing, it can be drawing, anything. But you have like core course as well. But it's up to you. Like if you are like not an exchange student like me, but you are studying there, it's up to you how many courses you can take. Like because it costs money, and depending on your budget, you can take as many courses as you want. They also have midterms, final exams, like the same system like here, but the exams are a bit different. Of course, the formats, as I told, bubble sheets. And classes, what I noticed, like the classes are really effective. And not only they teach like knowledge, but they also teach skills. They give you skills. For example, I had this 4th-year course in petroleum engineering, and we actually learned to do some real work stuff, like something job oriented. And I was surprised really, because I can use the skill anywhere I want, like in my job. And by effective, I mean here, for example, at university, you have lectures, you have lab works, you have practice, like seminars, but there you have only lectures. But at least in my case, it was mostly lectures. So depending on the credit hours, like the number of lectures may differ, but only lectures. Like you listen to lecture, but as well as the practice is in the lecture, and it's super efficient. Yeah, like as I mentioned in the beginning, UGRAD is also about traveling, lots of traveling. I traveled to quite many places actually. I traveled to Los Angeles, I traveled to Chicago, traveled to Washington, D.C., obviously, because every UGRADer who is in the US, I mean, they used to travel, except this year because of the COVID. And also I traveled to Denver, which was the closest biggest city to Wyoming. It was cool. It was really cool. You can spend your own money, but the money that they gave me, $300 a month, was like pretty much enough, because the tickets, the plane tickets are really cheap. if you book them beforehand, if you plan it. And I mean, if you're not staying like a week in one city, it won't cost you a lot to, eat, to, to get accommodation there, because most of the time you'll be walking outside and just exploring the city. This is some highlights from end of the program summit in Washington, D.C. So this is basically an event, like 5 days, 5 day long event in Washington, D.C. The World Learning, like the organizing, the organization that holds UGRAD, runs UGRAD. They invite all of the UGRAD participants from all over the states to Washington, D.C., and they hold a series of webinars on leadership, on project management and things like that. And you just get to know people, other UGRADers from other countries. Like there are 60 plus countries in this program, and you just spend your time with them. You get friends, you just party every night basically. And it's just a really, really, really cool experience to be in Washington, D.C. So let's move on. So in my university, we had other UGRADers as well. And this on right, this is a field trip that that I signed up for and went to the drilling rig. Well, it's something professional. And it was really, really cool opportunity to go to their like production sites and see, how they get oil and gas. It was something like out of this world for me. Yeah. So all in all, UGRAD made me like if I get to choose one sentence about UGRAD, I'd probably say that all in all, UGRAD made me a global citizen, because like now I truly feel like I don't belong not only to Uzbekistan or Central Asia, but also I can feel the whole world. Like because you're connected with so many people around the world. Like I have people in Africa, South America, like the US, the Europe, like Asia, everywhere. And you just, feel this vibe inside of you, the feeling that, like you're connected to everyone in the world truly makes you a global citizen. And when something comes up, for example, some topic, you stop thinking from one point, like from point of, citizen of Uzbekistan, but you also look at the topic, like, from global view, your perspectives change completely. Oh,
Jo,
sorry.
tudo tweetans.
I'm sorry. Okay. And yeah, that's basically one sentence that I would choose. I'm really sorry. Can we like mute all? Okay, good. I'll let you all unmute yourself in a second. So these are the important links that I recommend to people every time to search for opportunities, because you should never stop looking for opportunities. There's always something coming up. Oops, sorry. What is this? Okay, here we go. So the three sources that I use on a constant basis, like a regular basis, grantlar.us, youthop.com, and upc.net. Those are most popular platforms in my browser. So I'd really recommend to use them to search for opportunities. And these are my contacts. If you have any questions, you can ask. You can contact me anytime after this webinar. I'd be glad to help, answer your questions, just about anything, like not only UGRAD, your studies, anything. I mean, that's, as I told, that's something that makes me, glad, makes me proud of myself. After that, I feel that I'm giving back to my community. So any questions, just, contact me on Telegram, Facebook, Instagram, doesn't matter. And this is my blog. I just, share some things from time to time. And okay, let's go to question and answers. I'm letting everyone unmute. Yeah, you can unmute yourself, guys. And uh, how are we going to do this, Shazada?
Oman, firstly, we're gonna answer the previous questions that we had
Yeah,
in the first one. So,
yeah, yeah, sure.
participants were asking about your major. What major did you choose?
Uh, I don't. You don't get to choose your major because you already have your major. So when you're applying to a UGrad, you actually must be an undergrad student, and as an undergrad student, you already have your major. In my major, like here, is petroleum engineering. It's oil and gas, like oil and gas production. Uh, yeah,
Mhm. So, the next question, how many modules did you have per week or day?
yeah. So my schedule was a bit full, to be honest. Like, but you'll see. So on Mondays, Wednesdays, I had only one lecture in the morning, so which lasted for 50 minutes in the morning. So it started at 8 a.m., very early. But I wanted to be free for the rest of the day, so I chose that course. And after 9 a.m., I would be free for the whole day, like on Mondays and Wednesdays. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I would have two like lectures, one in the morning and one afternoon, like which were really, really like short. Again, the lectures are not really like long, unless there is only one lecture during the week. And on Fridays, I used to be free after the noon. Like afternoon, I would be completely free. So you have lots of time for yourself. I had four courses, like 12 credit hours in total. And as I told, I was free, uh, lots of time, like lots of the time during the week. So yeah.
Mhm. Next question, Oman, does the program cover all expenses?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. Like it covers everything. Just like here, just one sec. It covers basically everything. It covers your airfare tickets. It covers your tuition. It covers your books. Like books is a separate topic there because the books are really, really expensive. And I actually saved up on some books, borrowing them from library. Your living expenses, your trip to Washington is fully covered. Like you pay nothing for a trip to Washington. Even food there is like free. And plus, on top of that, you get $300 per month for other expenses, which I use for traveling most of the time. Yeah, so my answer is this is a full scholarship.
Mhm. So now we're moving to the questions that we have here. This question
Yeah.
is from Munira Bahadurovna. Can
Hi,
you go?
Manira.
Yeah, can you go to New York too?
Can we go to New York too?
Yes.
Like, is it the question?
Well, like she means you mentioned Chicago, going to somewhere else. Can you go to New York as well, if possible?
Yeah, 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 sure. You can go to anywhere in the US, basically. I mean, if you think that your budget is enough, you can go to anywhere in the US. It doesn't matter. But it should be during your free time. It shouldn't really come across with your lectures, with your classes. So I would, usually travel during the weekends or during some holidays because during one semester we have holidays like Thanksgiving holiday, like 1 week long, and we used to have like one additional week because it was really cold there. Wyoming is really cold state, like minus 27 Celsius was like normal, and because of those colds, they shut down the school for one more week, and I mean you could travel more. So yeah, like you can travel to anywhere you want, and I would say even more, like you can travel to other country, for example, during UGrad, but it should be, for example, during your class. So let's say your class is experimenting something, like, and for that experiments, like for those experiments, you have to go, like with your professor, you have to go to Canada, for example, like with special permits, with special, documents, of course, with permits of your coordinators. I mean, you can even go to other country, but I haven't heard of those situations. But I clearly read those things in regulations.
So next question is from Sanjar. How many days
Hi,
did you
Sanjay.
study at campus? How many days did you study at campus?
Can we yeah, during you study 5 days, like during the week you study for 5 days. Like 5 days are considered to be study days. Saturday and Sunday are weekends, like day off. Like actually no classes are held during those 2 days, but again, depending on your own schedule, depending how you choose the classes, you can have more time, more days off. For example, some people made it, like 3 days of classes on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and they would have days off on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, like 4 days off during the week, and they would travel every week. I mean, I heard there were such participants, and it's really cool that you get to choose the classes.
So next question, do they really consider our GPA while processing the application for the next step? Is it so important?
So just again, from my experience, my GPA is not very high. Like out of 100, um, my score, right, out of 100 is like 84, 85, something like this. It's not even like A plus or A. But as you see, it was enough. It shouldn't be really high. I don't think that it plays a great role in application. But again, it shouldn't be like I don't know, 50 or 60, because it clearly shows that you're a procrastinator. You're like you don't want to study, but it should be like in a good standing. This is what I mean.
So the next question is from Munira Bakhadirovna. How many people are chosen each year from Uzbekistan?
In my year, it was 7. So every year it differs. Like in my year, it was 7. I don't remember previous years, but it's definitely more than 5 each year. More than 5 people, and they also have like alternative finalists. Like in case someone like from the finalists can't go to the U.S. due to some conditions. Maybe he got sick. Maybe he's just he just can't go. He doesn't want to lose 1 year at university, for example. Um, in those cases, like alternative finalists are offered a place like at the program. So more than 5 for sure. More than 5 participants each year from Uzbekistan.
So the next question is from Dilnora Salimova. She asks about your motivational letters. Are they actually important?
Oh yeah, like motivation letters I would say that they are the most important part of the application. This is actually like together with the recommendation letters, I'd say those 4 documents, like 4 papers, are the most important papers in your application. So you have to be really, really attentive and focus on those letters. Yeah.
So next question, what do you think, how does the first attempt of yours to apply for UGRAD differ from the last one, successful one?
Yeah.
What mistakes
Yeah.
should we prevent ourselves from during the interview and application process?
Okay. In the first attempt, during the first attempt, I didn't actually make it to interview. So I was at the interview only once. But again, I can see from my application, like from my motivation letters, that during the first attempt, actually the achievements were not really contributing to society, I guess. Um, like most of the words were like, I don't know, watery, like lots of unspecific things. Yeah, I actually was young. I applied when I was the first year student, and I mean, you don't expect a first year student to be like really, really, cool and have achieved. Maybe I mean, it's usually like he's fresh, he's green, and it was like that in my case. Like I really didn't have some legit achievement. Like I didn't get to like fulfill myself fully at university or any other things, like any other project. So first attempt was really raw, I'd say. It didn't have concrete examples. It didn't have like legit achievements, which actually contributed to society, to improve your society, your people like around you. But the second one actually was much better. Like the second attempt happened when I was already a third year student, and I actually you know did something by that time. As I told, like I ran Petra English Club, which was a great experience of teaching and actually learning and organizing the event. Plus I did a couple of other things. We have the Society of Petroleum Engineers student chapter at our university, and I did a couple of events, which again helped me to contribute to society in my university. So yeah, definitely you have to have some experience of leadership. And the tips, I mean, I showed the tips. Let me show once again. One sec. Yeah, like so the deadline for here, the deadline is like 31st of December. Never wait till the last day. This is like the main mistake, I guess. Like if you think that you are ready, like by the beginning of December, just apply, upload the documents. Never wait for the last day. It's a big mistake. Um, but start preparing beforehand. As I told, you have the questions, you can ask people. People won't uh, refuse to respond to you, because it's okay actually to talk about application process and motivation letters. So just start preparing early, and make up your mind about what you want to say about yourself, your leadership experience, and you'll be fine. Sorry for the long answer.
No,
Sorry.
it's okay. So, what is the most important factor for winning UGrad?
There isn't one important factor. As I told, your application consists of many things like transcripts, motivation letters, recommendation letters. It's a complex system of assessment. For example, if you have, in my case, as I told, I didn't have really high GPA, but I think I had really good recommendation letters and good motivation letters, um, with some real examples, real contribution to people around me at the university. Um, and like, of course, the motivation letters are the core documents there, but I wouldn't say that other things don't matter at all. They all matter, but again, there isn't like one factor.
Mhm. So next question, is it possible for ordinary students to win a UGrad, or one should be extremely talented?
No, it's not about talent. Like, um, first of all, you have to think of the purpose of the program. Every program is tailored in some way. Like every program has its purpose, has its own, like agenda, experience, and every program looks for a specific type of people. Like there's even this like research we made among UGraders of Uzbekistan. Like there are many people actually who went through this program to US. Like lots of us, like over 80%, I guess, like share same like characteristics, like and this is not that didn't happen by chance. Actually, the organizers, the juries actually were looking for those okay, 10 minutes. The juries were looking for those attributes, like characteristics. And though this is like mainly it's leadership. Like you have to have some leadership skills. By leadership I mean leading some club, like organizing event, like participating in some volunteering, like taking part in some charity programs, or leading some online project. It doesn't matter. But leadership in many cases means giving something to your society, like giving something that sharing it with others, and being open about it. So just remember about the goal and the purpose of the program, and I think you'll be fine.
Mhm. So, what we should do during the interview to succeed?
Yeah. Well, it's an interesting question because you never know what can happen in an interview, but um, the simple answer is just be yourself. Like, know what you wrote in your motivation letters, know what you wrote, like, know what you had in your recommendation letter, and just don't deviate, from that direction. You have to be focused, like, you have to know what to say actually to any kind of question. You have to know something about the US as well, like what is the US, because they're going to ask about US because you're going to US, hopefully. Uh, and prepare in that way, prepare in a way, to know US, to know something about the US, like their culture, and certainly know what to say about yourself, because they're going to ask mostly about yourself. They're going to ask questions that will validate the things that you wrote in your essays, and they just want to know you as a person, like, eye to eye. Is it like really you, well, that was on the paper, but like, or it's not. So, yeah.
So the next question is from Iroda Abdusamatova. How many
Hmm.
students can win the scholarship?
Yeah, as I told, there are more than five finalists every year. In my year, last year was seven, and all of us get full scholarship. If you're a finalist of the program, you get a full scholarship. And every year, at least 5 to 6 people get chosen from Uzbekistan.
Mhm. So could you tell us more about your interview? Also, do you have any advice for people who is going to have academic interview?
Uh, yeah, like um, advice in the interview. Um, don't be late for the interview. Never be late for the interview. Like, just you have to have some time to breathe, to get prepared, like morally, physically. Um, don't panic a lot. I think like panicking is no good to yourself. Um, think again. Think about what you're gonna tell about yourself. Like, know for sure what you wrote in your letters. And the second part was like academic interview. Like, can we like clarify what she meant? Iroda, right?
No, it's Yora, some kind of a Yora, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what did she mean by academic interview? Like, what is it? Because the interview in Ugrad is not like academic.
Maybe she meant for like university application.
Okay. So, all right. I don't have experience, to be honest, in applying to university, to foreign university, and having a interview with them. But I guess it's again like straightforward. Like, they want to know about you again. You are the asset. They want to know you as an individual and what you can actually bring to their university. Now, American people are really, really crazy about the diversity. The topic of diversity is the main topic uh, in UGRAD as well. And I think it's the main topic. It can be main topic when applying to academic, like having academic interview too. So maybe it would be good to think about diversity as well. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, so next question. In step 3, you wrote TOEFL. Is it possible applying with
Yeah.
IELTS?
No, like it doesn't matter if you have a TOEFL or you have IELTS. Like, I had IELTS before that step, but it doesn't matter. They actually pay for your TOEFL, and you take it. Like, you register yourself. You pick the date, and you have to take TOEFL. Like, it's compulsory.
Mhm. Which process is the most difficult? Application, interview, or TOEFL?
I think it's application. Like, what like definition of difficult is like different again. Like, if it's like, if he means or she means like difficult by uh like, if she means it's like time consuming, it's definitely application period. Like, the application period it takes much more time than other parts. Like, interview it happens really quickly, like less than 10 minutes and you're out, like the interview is done. But again, like to prepare for interview, I prepared for, I don't know, for 1 week, maybe for several days. You just, prepare yourself morally. But yeah, the application part is the longest and most like effort and time consuming. Yeah.
Okay. So
And maybe TOEFL. I don't know, like, because in my case I never had taken TOEFL before, and like in 3 weeks I had to prepare for TOEFL. But if you had taken IELTS or some other tests, it wouldn't be very difficult. I mean, again, it's just a test of English, and you just get to get used to the format of it. That's it.
So did you have like 4 lectures and 4 classes per week?
No. I had 4 classes, like in total, 12 credits, but every class had like different, like various numbers of lectures. So my major class, like petroleum engineering, had like 3 lectures per week. Each lecture was like 50 minutes long. And also I had another petroleum engineering course, which was like 1 lecture per week, but it was like almost 3 hours. So during 1 week, you have only 1 lecture, but it's like long. You have to sit, you have to talk, you have to, make a presentation, and etc. Others others were different. So other 2 courses were like 2 days per week, and every one of them like lasted for maybe an hour and 20 minutes, something in that vicinity.
So can you talk about your TOEFL score?
Yeah, it's TOEFL IBT, internet-based TOEFL. The maximum is 120. My score was 102. So if you convert it to IELTS or CEFR, I think, like it's like C1.
Omon, so let's answer all the rest of the questions very quickly because we have like 2 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, feel free to like contact me.
Yeah, afterwards.
Anytime. Yeah, I'll even share the presentation, guys, if you want. It's not of a big deal. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
I'm looking for different questions. What about other important parts of scholarship that we should pay attention most to win?
As I said, like the motivation letter is the core part, along with the recommendation letters. Just make sure that your grades are not very low. They should be like decent. And yeah, that's it. Like your documents should look like normal. Yeah, like it shouldn't be, I don't know, like there must be like normal. The text must be like clear. Yeah, that's basically it. Like motivation letter and recommendation letters. Yeah.
So guys, it's almost like 1 minute left for our webinar. I want to thank Omon for
thank you. Yeah, thank you very much.
And all the participants, you can ask questions that you're interested in from Omon. He has already shared his contacts.
Once again.
Yeah,
here.
Again.
Yeah, you can take a photo, anything like.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone, for participating. Yeah. I hope to see you in other